Good evening, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Story of the Storyteller. In this episode, I would like to deal at length about ideology, its impact, and how to fight ideology. Dear friends, an American architect, Black Minister Fuller said, and I quote, "You never change things by fighting the existing reality. In fact, to change something, we need to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." That means, if you want to change something, fighting the existing reality is one thing, but if you can look at a different model, and by implementation of that model, you make the existing model obsolete, is the right way of fighting or bringing about change, is what Black Minister Fuller says. For this, my dear friends, let us understand the existing reality of the Indian political scenario. As we all know, friends, for the last 6 years, since 2014, there is a ruling establishment which is governing us, and this ruling establishment is in the hands of few. When I say few, it is 2 to 3 people. The ruling establishment today is in the hands of our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, one. Number 2, maybe his deputy and his confidant, Amit Shah. And 3, maybe Mohan Bhagwat, who heads RSS, the ideological umbilical cord for BJP. Dear friends, this organization, RSS, has been blinded by communal ideology. Now let us understand the reality. Now when I say something about the existing situation, I will talk about the existing situation and then go a little bit to the history of these organizations. RSS was founded in 1925, and for 95 years they have been trying to implement their ideological, communal, fascist discourse in this great land of Buddha, Baswanna, Phule, Ambedkar, Periyar and Gandhi. You might be surprised. Why did I omit Jawaharlal Nehru, the architect of modern India? I wantedly omitted, my dear friends, because this establishment or these RSS and BJP don't give that credit to this great architect Jawaharlal Nehru of building India, and in fact they put all the ills of this country on his head or on his shoulders. My dear friends, going back a little bit into history prior to after RSS and during that period, RSS is an ideological organization, but it put forth many political phases right from pre-independence period. Hindu Mahasabha was founded in 1933 during the pre-independence period. It was a political phase of RSS. In 1951, Jansangh was formed. Until 1977, Jansangh was there. And all the elections post-independence till 1977, when Jansangh was merged with Janata Party, post-emergency, RSS political wings hardly got 3% vote share in different general elections in India. 3 to 9% you can say was the highest that they used to get. 3%, sometimes 4%, sometimes 6%, but the highest Jansangh got was after they merged Jansangh along with Janata Party. In that election, they got 9%. Jansangh got around 9%. Or maybe until they merged with Janata Party, Jansangh got around 9%. That means for 42 years, if you take, from 47 till 1998 or 99 when they formed a coalition government, RSS and its political wing were rejected by people of India. Politically and ideologically too, they were rejected by people of India. And as you know, the Janata Party government fell because Jansangh came out of Janata Party and formed BJP in 1980. After they formed BJP in 1980 also, they never got sustainable vote share till 1989. Even in 1989, there was a great amalgamation of different ideologies. The socialists merged under VP Singh, the leftists supported them, the rightists, BJP too supported them, and during this period, they got around 11% vote share. So just imagine, till 89, the RSS-led political front got just around a vote share wavering from 3% to a maximum of 11%. Now, when VP Singh government was there, VP Singh of course thought of a big concept of giving reservations to OBC for the first time in this country. That is when BJP felt its ideological vulnerability, in fact. When VP Singh brought in Mandal, BJP brought in Communal. This is when the exact polarization took place, political polarization as well as social polarization took place in this country, my dear friends. Advani started Rath Yatra for his Ram Janmabhoomi. So if you really see historically, there are three major instances which helped BJP to come to power and succeed in its polarization, communal polarization of the society. The JP movement helped them in 1977-78. VP Singh helped them, along with the leftists, helped them during 1989, where they were part of the government or supported the government from outside. And in 1998 too, they got only 19% vote share. Even though Vajpayee formed the government, 1998 or 1999, they got just 19% vote share. And in fact, that government came into force just because of anti-Congressism, where a lot of regional parties allied with BJP and a lot of Congress parties who also know splinter Congress parties like TMC, led by Mamata Banerjee, NCP, and other small parties, Congress, who went out of Congress, helped BJP and Vajpayee to form government in 98 and 99. Therefore, if you see, friends, for 42 years, India rejected BJP and its political affiliates of RSS and communal forces in this country. Polarization actually started in 1989, which catapulted BJP's vote share from 11% to 19%. Even in 1999, when Vajpayee formed government, Congress got 5% more vote share than BJP. BJP got somewhere around 19%, Congress got somewhere around 24%. Now I feel in 1989, only if Rajiv Gandhi, where Congress had got somewhere around 195 seats, being the single largest party, if he had claimed to form the government, BJP would not have got any foothold in this country. Then you know what happened in 2004. From 2004 to 2014, UPA came to power. A lot of economical activity took place. India became a more stabilized country. And then in 2014, a renewed effort from these communal ideological organization RSS and a renewed BJP under Narendra Modi brought BJP to power in 2014. And again in 2019, on the pretext of nationalism and Pulwama attack, they got a second mandate. Both these governments, BJP got a mandate on their own, and NDA got around 300 seats. Even in NDA 2 also in 2019, they got around 303 or 3,305 seats. Now we all know what happened in the first regime of Mr. Modi. A failed demonetization put our economy into doldrums, failed GST, ruined economy, polarized country, and post 2019, you know what happened. In spite of Modi getting an overwhelming majority, polarization, communal polarization took a new turn with government's patronage for communal polarization in this country. It happened through Article 370, abolition of Article 370 in Kashmir, Triple Talaq, CAA, NRC, where crores of people hit the streets against this government, bringing down elected governments in Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, and so many states where elected governments were brought down by BJP and Modi using lure of money and muscle power, and using constitutional mechanisms like ED, CBI, IT, EC, judiciary, and browbeating opposition and subverting democracy, my dear friends. It was something like my way or highway. This is the existing reality, my dear friends. BJP and Modi has used communal polarization to gain foothold, ripped apart the society and our nation on religious and communal lines to further its communal ideology and gain political power. It has failed all democratic processes or thrown all democratic processes to the winds and throttled people's voice through power and brute force. Now we have two choices. One is to fight the existing reality, or to think out of the box and find solutions to fight this communal menace which has become monster and stronger too. Second, we need to find a new model which will make the existing model of BJP and RSS obsolete, like what Buckminster Fuller says. Hence, my dear friends, when I think what will be a suitable model, I feel a hybrid model is the need of the hour. We need to fight BJP ideologically. Friends, a diamond should be cut by diamond only. Similarly, an ideology should be fought through ideology only. An ideology should be fought by ideology only. Religious polarization is what BJP is doing, and religious polarization can be fought only by consolidation of different classes or castes, my dear friends. I use the word consolidation instead of polarization because polarization is a divisive mentality while consolidation is an inclusive mentality. So we should go back to what Baba Sahib Ambedkar says. We need to educate, agitate and organize. This will be the model that we have to use. We have to educate the Indian public, or the Indians, especially the deprived sections, the Dalits and the OBC, to shun communalism. We need to teach them what happened to Germany, what happened to Hitler, what happened to people of Germany, how much did they suffer, how did the country got divided in the society, and the country too got into two pieces. We need to agitate the minds of these Indians, gullible Indians who have fallen prey to communal agenda of BJP. We need to make them understand that polarization, social polarization will tear the social fabric of our nation, and then we need to organize. We need to socially, we need to reorganize these social groups of different classes. In fact, social re-engineering is the need of the hour, my dear friends. OBC and Dalits, who form 70% of the Indian population, have to take lead in this. Why I tell this is, see, BJP's communal polarization is very clear. They play the 85% versus 15% minority game. They play a religious communal game of polarizing 85% against the 15%. Now we need to consolidate the 75% of these 85%, which BJP tries to consolidate or communally consolidate. We need to tell the 75%, those OBCs, those Dalits who form 70 to 75% of this 85%, to shun this communal agenda of this RSS and BJP. Come out of these rented houses. These communal houses can never be our own houses. We need to shun these rented houses of ours, because these owners will just use us as guinea pigs for their political experiments. Hence, a sustainable model which can be an antidote to the dangerous communal disease that is spread by RSS and BJP is a consolidation of all secular forces, the OBC, the Dalits and the minorities, who constitute 90% of India's population, and polarize them or consolidate them against the rest until they too fall in line. Now, I would like even the communals or the fascists to fall in line to shun the communal agenda of BJP and RSS, so that a very inclusive India can be built. Jai Hind.